Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to connect with you at LOCS 2015 in Durban. My name is Anton Cartwright, and I'm a researcher at the African Centre for Cities. I've been asked to speak to you very briefly about a report released by the African Centre for Cities on behalf of the new climate economy. The report is called Better Growth and Better Cities. The report is the end product of 6 months' worth of research looking at how African cities, and let's be clear, it's difficult to generalize across these cities, but how they might possibly cope with the triple challenge of pressing development needs, rapid urbanization, and climate change. The point we try to make is that the best chance of dealing with the roughly 22 million people that move to African cities every year and will continue to do that for the next 3 decades, the best chance of ensuring that these people are productive, safe, and healthy involves providing them with a basket of services that enables them not only to forge an urban identity, but to live productive, healthy, and safe lives. How to do this is not a trivial question, particularly considering that in many countries there is very weak capacity to govern and to marshal budgets and to assimilate this urban population at the local level. Okay. On top of that, the amount of money available to build the infrastructure, to provide the services, and indeed the ability for people to finance that infrastructure through their per capita income and through user charge fees is quite limited. And so this is a particular challenge to the continent, and one that I think requires an innovation of both the innovation of the finance model and, of course, the service delivery model in Africa's cities. What we do in the report is focus on some of the very exciting things that are happening on the continent already, and particularly the off-grid energy provision, the off-grid sanitation provision, the state-owned utilities that are innovating and becoming more efficient in providing services, the rapid rollout of bus rapid transport systems, and indeed some of the innovative designs of African cities as they build and expand to accommodate this increasing population. It is the imperative of finding urban service delivery options that are not only affordable, but which are also commensurate with the available local government capacity, in other words, that they can be managed and rolled out and maintained. It is that imperative which really shines a spotlight on some of the low-carbon technologies. It is then no coincidence that it happens to be these technologies that people are drawing down, that people are demanding, that people are already paying for, and which probably offer the best opportunity for service delivery in African cities. The irony is that they're doing this not for climate change reasons, but simply because of the institutional and the fiscal fit, the affordability fit, and indeed the convenience with which these services can be brought on stream, in spite of perhaps the institutional deficit and the budget deficit to deliver conventional mega infrastructure projects and the services that they deliver. People cannot afford those projects, they cannot afford the time delays in mobilizing those projects, and they cannot afford the maintenance of those projects. Seen in this context, a crucial challenge becomes how national governments, international governments, civil society and development organizations stitch together the various efforts of social entrepreneurs, of community-based organizations, of local governments where they do exist, of national governments where they're active in this space, stitch those together to provide the basket of services that Africa's new urban population desperately requires. This stitching together of institutional hybrids for service delivery is not a skill that the development community currently has, but one that it urgently needs to acquire if Africa's urbanization process is to yield the type of urban dividend that not only it could do, but which it has to do in order to deliver the humanitarian gains that are possible from urbanization on the continent. The great opportunity that we identify in the report is that by rolling out these distributed fiscally appropriate, institutionally appropriate technologies and service delivery mechanisms on the continent. One happens also, and very fortuitously, to position the continent well in a carbon-constrained global economy, and to position the continent well as the impacts of climate change become more severe. The reasons for adopting these types of urban service delivery approaches and technologies is not climate change, but fortuitously, they equip the continent well to deal with climate change as it becomes an increasingly pressing global issue. This was a central finding of the report: better growth, better cities. And the report, with all its detail, is downloadable from the African Centre for Cities webpage at the University of Cape Town. I hope you have a fantastic workshop at LOCS, and I'd be delighted for any comment or feedback that you could give us on the report. Thank you very much.